Fantasy Football Talk. I'm here with my co-host Brady and slamming Sammy Goin Hammy. We'll be with us in just a moment. We're talking the upcoming 2023 fantasy football season in the Family Fantasy Football League. Sammy, welcome to the program.
Chris,
good to have you.
pleasure being here, sir.
Thank you, sir. So, as a past champion, 2021 champion, going into the 2023 fantasy football season, what do we think we're going to be looking at here?
Well, looking at past years, I'll be honest, one of the more slept-on players in the league, who I think has the best chance to win the league, with the new 6 points per passing touchdown, I believe the fantasy winner will be G-Bills. G-Bills. He's going to pick Patrick Mahomes most likely in the first round. You have to be absolutely crazy not to. Way too many weapons. Andy Reid.
Yeah.
He just adapts to the NFL so well. But you get a guy like that in the first round, he'll carry your team. It doesn't matter. We were looking at the stats the other day. The highest flex player was ranked number 12th in the league, and it was Austin Eckler with 320 points. With the new rule change, Patrick Mahomes has 500 points in a season.
Crazy.
500 points. That's two Christian McCaffreys on your team. Out of your mind. G-Bills has, I think, the best chance of winning the league with that. I think it's a slam dunk, Patrick Mahomes, but that's just me.
Slam dunk Patrick Mahomes. Even the way Jalen Hurts played last year.
Listen, rushing quarterbacks are a thing of the past with our new 2023 rule change and what lose in 2023.
Okay.
Thing of the past. It's going to be a crazy year, Chris.
It's going to be a crazy year. Speaking of crazy years, with running back contracts being what they are, and the running back position being what it's become in the NFL, what do you see for running backs this year in the draft?
I think we're going to see more sleepers than we've ever seen before.
Ooh.
I do believe so. I think it's a trend that the NFL's going in. Massive contracts for running backs are a thing of the past. You're going to see a lot of these undrafted or day 2, day 3 draft running backs. They're going to take the lion's share of the snaps nowadays. I truly believe that. Look at the New York Jets last year.
Yep.
Bam night. You had Breece Hall go down. You had some undrafted free agent out of Colorado State come in. All you have to do is be an average hold on to the goddamn ball and run straight, and you're going to get yards. That's all it is. That's all it is these days. But I think it's an extremely volatile position.
But it's not a premium as it's been in the past. Looking for a premier running back, a single back to carry the entire load. We're moving away. It seems like we're moving away from it. You agree?
I would seriously agree with that. Now, I don't think it's like that in every single league. We do have the 2 quarterback league,
yep.
And we've just absolutely boosted the crap out of passing touchdowns.
True. And for those of you that don't know what Sammy's talking about, we had a league meeting this year, July, and we had 8 or 9 owners of all 12 available. We made some rule changes to our league. Now, quarterbacks used to get 4 points for passing touchdowns. We upped that to 6, like a true touchdown. We also added you can only carry 3 quarterbacks on your roster, including in your IR spot. So, you can't have a 4th quarterback in the IR. If you want to hang on to that quarterback because he might be coming back, he counts as part of your 3. Which, you got to say, in conjunction with those 2 rules working together, yes, you're going to see a lot more points like you were mentioning with Patrick Mahomes. But at the same time, you're also, it's not going to be that everyone trying to grab a quarterback. Because I've seen your roster in the past, you got 5. 5 quarterbacks.
I used to pick them up like hotcakes.
But we can only start 2. So, in our league, that's the way it worked. What was the other league change we had? Did we vote on anything else?
It was the 3 quarterbacks in the league.
Yep.
You can only pick 3. Frankie with an asterisk at the end of it.
Oh, that's right. 2022 champ. They wanted to add an asterisk to his plaque, and it was voted on and carried by the league with 1 abstaining vote, or nay vote, and that was me. Frankie, I got you, bud. But we now have 3 winners in 3 separate seasons. This season's proven to be a crazy one. The free agency, you've seen Aaron Rodgers now with the New York Jets. You see DeAndre Hopkins with the Titans. Dalvin Cook's still unsigned. I think Zeke is still unsigned. A lot of the big names in the past few years are in new places, or things have gotten jumbled up. And we've talked about the running back position. I think it's going to be more of a committee thing, like you were saying. But I also think now with wide receivers, this puts them at a premium. Like what the running backs used to be, the wide receivers are now, just because of the passing stats. You're seeing Jamar Chases, the new classes. These guys, Justin Jefferson, stepping up quick. I think Justin Jefferson was a waiver wire pickup in his first season in our league. Nobody drafted him. Unreal. But what do you see from wide receivers this year?
Well, the first 2 rounds I see mostly quarterbacks. I see wide receivers coming next.
Yep.
And after that, I think the next hottest position in our league is tight ends because of the boost to every catch they get.
That's right.
They get a 1.5% boost to every pass they catch. And one guy I am very, very high on this year, even though it's a stacked roster, is Goddard.
Dallas
Philadelphia.
Yep.
I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be exceptional next year. Jalen Hurts is definitely a safety blanket type of guy. He loves getting that quick check down. I think he's a very intelligent quarterback. I think the older he gets, the wiser he gets with his feet, and I think the older he gets, the more check downs he's going to have to those running backs or tight ends. But that Goddard is an absolutely special talent.
Yeah,
he's going to check it down to him quite a bit.
He's definitely found a good home to fill. And then, of course, you got Travis Kelce. He's going to do what he's going to do. Always.
Then he got Gesicki over in New England now. Is that right?
They picked him up. They picked up Gesicki. It's crazy, but hey.
I mean, he doesn't really strike me as a clam chowder sucker.
No.
But, you know.
We have to beat that. Fuck it. Leave it in. Oh, hey,
we're going to get demonetized here, but...
You got to get monetized first before you get demonetized. But hopefully that's what we're doing here. If you like what you see here, click that like button, hit the subscribe button. And we're doing a whole bunch of different stuff on the channel.
Smash that fucking like button.
Like Sammy said.
Arr.
Smash it. Wow, that was so fast I didn't even see where that went. I don't think he did either. Went under the fence. Good. Brady's busy. Brady, named after Tom Brady.
Hold on, Chris. Let's talk about the fantasy champ, Frankie Martino here. Now, I know there's all the bull crap about the asterisk next to his name. I personally voted against the asterisk because I truly believe Frankie, well, statistically speaking, Frankie would have won the league if you carried over the players that did not play that week into the next week.
Right.
Frankie would have won.
Right.
Frankie Martino would have been the fantasy champion.
Undisputed.
Undisputed champ. But the way that it went down, I don't believe those players carried into the next year. I believe that his brother, Richie, made him the winner with his, what is it called? Commissioner Powers, if you would. Woo. So, how do you think Frankie fares this year?
I think Frankie's got a big old bullseye on him.
What position is he in? Do you know? I think he's close to last. I think he's 11th.
I believe he is.
You don't have to look at it.
He went to the bottom because we did our draft order selection by doing sports racing.
If you look at the way that Frankie drafted last year, I believe he took running backs in the first 3 rounds.
Yes.
Now, do you think that's
no?
Not only will that not the strategy.
He took a quarterback and 2 running backs, but I think he went round 1.
But how about this? Frankie has only, I think, 1 trade under his belt, and that was with Jeff this year.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a gimme trade.
A little bit.
But do you think, as the league winner, Frankie has the cojones to grab a trade by the you-know-whats and really give a decent, honest American working trade a go?
I think he does. He's been one of those, since he came into the league, who's steadily been getting better. He's been learning how fantasy football works, how the point systems work, how the players play, and how they do. He's come along very quickly in 3 years from someone who didn't know a lot about fantasy football. That being said, his knowledge of the football and the game, and is he going to come out and have like a brilliant draft? It all depends on what he values most. And if that's points, then you got to look at the trend and go with the trend. Do I think he's going to do it? I don't know. I like to see what the kid's got. He was a champ last year. He played a lot of guys. He beat me twice, I believe. He beat me twice. But he's getting it. He's starting to get it. So I think he's got a big bullseye on his back this year. I think every matchup he gets into, especially if it all comes down to how he drafted, could be key for that kid. If he wants to try and repeat back-to-back Frankie.
Repeat the magic.
If you want to repeat, buddy, good luck. It ain't easy.
Now, there's no denying Frankie was absolute steam shit rolling last year.
Yeah,
he went over everybody. It didn't even matter. Now, let's talk about the toilet bowl one.
Okay.
Mr. Michael Lott.
At Trump 1.
At Trump 1. Now, Trump 1 was Trump 2 last year. There's no denying.
That's true. He had a rough season.
I don't know where he's drafting.
He's drafting in the 4 spot.
And the number 4.
And I'm drafting right behind him, number 5.
Do you think he takes Aaron Rodgers at number 4?
I think he does. If he's still available. I don't know, like, because with the... Oh, that's what I was looking at. Picks. Let's see. Frankie's drafted 9th this year. All right, so first is Billy. You got Billy with the 1 spot. I hated the 1 spot last year. I know you had it the year before.
Oh, well, forgive me for my digressing. But I remember at the draft last year, you were texting my dad saying you were going to draft Josh Allen. And I think
I wish I had.
I think that would have been the wise pick.
And I went with?
And Chris, I love you like a brother, but you choked ass and,
Picked up CMC.
You picked up CMC. Now, was he bad last year? Absolutely not. It was one of his better years. Now, he's been a Helen Keller motherfucker for the last 10 years. So, anything's better than that.
Helen Keller motherfucker. Yes.
But,
Well, you're right.
When you get put in the spotlight, shit happens.
You waffle or you hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
You do.
Shit or get off the pod.
You either fumble the bag or you don't. But
Exactly.
That's neither here nor there. Back to...
Well, you got number 2. So sitting at number 2, how do you feel about that this year?
I don't even remember. Oh, this year?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I think it's obvious who I'm going to take with the new quarterback rules, pocket passes, all that. I'm taking Joe Burrow all day, every day. It's going to be Joe Burrow.
Ooh, spicy.
It's either him or Josh Allen, and frankly,
that's a freaking crazy decision to have to make.
Yeah, well, I mean, not really too much if you look at the stats last year. I think Burrow was the 3rd quarterback, not too far behind Josh Allen, and I mean, Jamar Chase was hurt half the year with a fractured hip. You get him back in the mix. You get him back in the mix. They just added Orlando Brown Jr. as a left tackle. Sheesh. You're done, brother. Nice. It's going to be the Burrow train all year. Woo! We're done.
The Burrow train. I like that. Picking third, Jay Sackey. We got Jay Sackey.
Jay Sackey. Interesting.
Jay Sackey running wild at 3. Mike picking at 4th. That Trump 1. I'm picking right behind him at 5th. Cousin Sean, Uncle Sean, picking at 6th. The brother-in-law, Taylor, picking at 7. Danny picking at 8. Frankie picking 9th. I kind of like his picking spot there.
Yeah, because if there's not, if it goes all quarterbacks, then Frankie's going to be sitting there picking the number 1 wide receiver and the close to the number 1 quarterback or running back.
I didn't think about that, but you're absolutely right.
Yep.
Frankie, Cassidy, Jeff, and Richie, which is the last 4, they all have the opportunity to take 2 quarterbacks in that whole thing.
But you got to remember, folks. You got to remember.
Got to pick the right one.
With the new rule change, the top 12 players in the league, I believe, all quarterbacks. Yeah. So if you're not taking a quarterback in the first round, statistically speaking, you're not going to get a top 12 player.
Correct.
No matter how good they are.
That is correct.
Now, I believe that's what the new rule change. But we'll have to see.
So we're going to go with Baker Mayfield my first quarterback.
You know what? I think it's about time. It's about damn time.
That's the best wide receiver core he's ever had. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. We'll move on. So yeah, after that we got Frankie picking 9th, Cassidy picking 10th, his sister. That'll be interesting. Jeff picking 11th, and Richie, the commish, going 12th. That's our draft lineup for this year. When is our drafting up?
I believe it's the first
weekend
Saturday in September. It's the weekend before the draft. Now, Chris, let me ask you something. Who do you think is going to prevail, rise from the ashes this year, if any, to win the league? 2024
That's tough.
Fantasy Football Championship. Getting the trophy on the flag. Gonna rise in glory.
Based on where they're picking in the draft, types of teams they've put together in the past. See, like I like Sean as a dark horse because I know he's a fantasy guy. He's into the fantasy. However, last year he did his team on auto draft.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on a second.
Technical difficulties. Thank you. Sean, I like is he can come out anywhere. If he picks his own team and does his due diligence, he could be very dangerous, especially with where he's picking in the draft.
Cassidy is very competitive because she sticks to drafting the auto draft players, which was Sean's strategy last year, which I think he stole from Cassidy.
See,
if I'm being completely honest.
but
I think he was scared shitless. And then he fumbled the bag in the championship.
Yeah.
You know? But neither here nor there.
So my top three would be Sean, Cassidy, and
Sean first.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm gonna put Sean number one there just because I think but it's an if based.
Well, Sean hates quarterbacks,
I know.
which might bite him in the ass.
It might, but he knows in this league he has no choice. In this league, if you want to win, that's the strategy that's kind of like, that's the cool thing I think about this video we're doing right now is we're kind of telling everybody what the deal is. So we're giving everybody the first step.
Cool.
However, you have to choose the right quarterbacks.
Let's not pretend here for a second. We're getting this to get hella likes, hella subscribers, and hella Latino bitches. That's what it is.
It's propaganda.
Yeah.
No. But
Big
number
media.
Number three, and this is my dark horse pick for the year, Billy.
That's what I'm saying.
Billy had an awful first 2 years. The first year for him, everybody broke their everything between week 1 and week 4, and his team was the ankle collector. He became known as. So, but last year, he really turned the corner. He really did. He made some good picks, even though I thought they were mediocre at the time. Wound up, boom, every time I looked, Billy was sitting there with a player that was putting up some points. And you couldn't overlook him as an easy W. He's been putting in the time like Frankie has. I think Frankie's going to find, he may wind up being up there in the playoffs. I think a few players, I don't know, a few players that are going to drop. Me. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. My questioning my own abilities, like that CMC pick last year. Yeah, like that. Like for where that came from in my mind, I don't know. But
Well, you were reading tables, weren't you?
yeah, at the time I was like.
So you were just like, ah.
But I'm sitting there looking at it, going, man, I'm running out of time. What do I do? Josh Allen, Mahomes, CMC, Mahomes, CMC. Fuck CMC. Fuck it. I'll take the right back points. And honestly, what did he come in like 3rd, 4th last year?
Not bad at all.
No.
You got traded, and that was huge for
But the other two guys finished above the points.
Yeah.
So that goes to show you how well that worked out.
Well,
me, I may wind up in the toilet bowl this year. I think Mike's going to wind up in the playoffs. Danny,
I think, is going to be very good.
Really?
I think Danny's a top 3 guy every
who's
year.
your top 3?
Well, I said Billy.
Yeah.
But the thing about Billy is I think he needs to get out of his own way with his goddamn trades.
Yes. Many.
He sold his soul with that Joe Burrow, David Montgomery.
That was a crazy trade.
Whatever guys I gave him. I can't even remember.
Yep.
But top 3. After that, I would say I think my Uncle Danny. He's just he just knows football, and I think he's just very knowledgeable when just realistic about the players he drafts.
Yeah.
Even though I think half of his players last year were auto picks.
Yeah.
But or he is a Dolphins homer. I'll give it to him. I love him, but damn, he loves those Fins.
Love you, Unc.
He couldn't even look me in the eyes at that Jets game when we went to it down in Miami.
We had a couple of our owners go to the Dolphins Jets, and some of the owners were Dolphins, and some of the owners were Jets, and it was a great time last year.
It was great. And I would say Uncle Danny is number 2.
Yeah.
Number 3, man, it really comes down to luck. It really does. I would say myself, because I do have, I think, the best win record in the league, tied with Taylor, which either me or Taylor for that 3rd spot. That's what I would say. Because I think we are tied with win percentage.
Yeah.
Even though Taylor has not been in the league for as long.
Taylor's another dark horse. You got to watch out for him. He makes good he makes good pickups, waiver wire pickups.
He is a homer. he drafts CD every single year. Oh, Taylor.
That's his Achilles heel, the Dallas Cowboys. How about them boys? How about those Super Bowls? Long time. Sorry, Taylor. My bad, bro.
I'm not sorry at all.
Okay, sorry, not sorry.
God, I hate you. I hate you so much.
I hate you. We got an interesting league, and then Jeff Locke last year he started off high. He came out of the gate storming.
He usually does.
But then it all fell apart.
He like last year, he made a trade with Frankie. He gave him T. Higgins for some god awful 3rd string player on some team. I was like, what the hell is up with that? And I don't think it was a gimme. I don't know what was going on. But you know, Jeff is always starts hot.
Yeah.
And it's not always his fault. Sometimes it's injuries or whatnot. Jeff is a very, very competitive player in this league.
And analytical too. He'll break shit down.
And he really, really, you know, puts the lifeblood into this unit or this league we have. He really contributes to the culture of the league. He loves talking. He gets other people to engage. He really keeps it interesting all year long. And, you know, Jeff, hats off to you. Brother, that is what makes this league go. We would not be half as interactive without you. And that is the God honest truth. It is awesome. I wish you'd make some better trades so you'd be a little bit more competitive. But
it's going to be a long season. We'll see.
Make a trade with me this year, you won't regret it. Trust me.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Ooh,
Joe
let
Burrow.
the games begin.
Yes. And how about this? I mentioned this to the commish.
Okay.
Shut me down. Like I was Icarus flying too close to the sun. Shut me back down that way. Why can't we trade draft picks before the season? Just draft picks for draft picks. Listen, mid-draft like it is, just in, you know, the normal NFL draft, you know, you're the 3rd pick in the draft, you don't really love anybody, but you get an offer for a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th. Why can't you accept it?
I honestly don't. I'm with you. I think we should be able to do that. But the compensation, because of the way the system works, you can't trade like, you know, you want the 1st pick, so you're giving up the 3rd and 4th. You'd have to trade picks so that all the picks work out even.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Well, but then some people are not going to have picks on their roster. They're going to have to go in and sign people immediately right off the waiver.
Well, you shouldn't be a dumbass.
Okay.
Don't make a bad trade.
I don't know. You know what? We'll put a poll up on this question. See what you guys think out there. Do you think we should allow pre-trade or pre-draft trades of draft picks?
You know, while the draft is going on. While the draft is going on.
See, but then you get somebody in a position where if they tried to trade like 4 picks for the 1st, or you know what I mean? Like, you know.
Right, but at the same time, if that happens in real life, you shouldn't do that if it's a bad trade. Unless you really think that player's that good.
In real life, you're already working with a 53-man roster. You've already got players for it. Now you still have to go back and pick out.
Like I was talking about before, with quarterbacks, how they're so absolutely overpowered this year.
Oh, yeah.
And if I wanted to trade the 3rd, 4th, and 5th for a first-round pick for a quarterback that I think is going to produce as many points as all of those picks could combine, why shouldn't I be able to make that trade?
I see what you're saying.
Chris, we live in America.
Yes, we do.
We don't live in goddamn China.
Yep.
We don't live
Nope.
in North Korea.
Nope.
South Korea.
Nope.
Any of the Koreas.
None of them.
We're here right now playing fantasy football
In America. America.
at Rector Road. Let's do this.
Okay. And I
I'm
want
being
to end on
serious.
this.
I'm being
I wanna,
completely serious.
Okay, no, I totally get it. I understand. I kind of agree with you. At this point, the way you laid it out there, I like what you had to say. We'll see what the rest of the league has to say at our next league meeting. Last year in our league, we introduced the $100 system where when the waiver wire comes around, you can bid money, like $5 to pick up a player. How do you feel that system worked last year? Is there anything we can do to improve it this year?
Absolutely amazing. The best system we've ever had by far. Oh my god. It was so great. I held on to my money all year to try and land a guy at the very end of the season, and you could see people physically in real life getting upset that, oh god, why did I blow my load on freaking this guy week 2, week 3, and it's the best strategy you can play. I truly, truly, truly believe that. I liked it a lot better than, you
based on who picked the last person out.
who picked the last person, and you could trade for the money.
Yeah, that was the
So
other
at
thing.
the end of the
Get
year,
money back.
I was trying to, trade a mediocre player for, like $20 or $5. $5 at the end of the year. If I had $100 and the next closest guy had $100, let's just say, and I got that extra $1 or $2,
Yep.
I could get whoever I wanted.
And they couldn't do anything about it.
Couldn't do a goddamn thing because they didn't have that extra $2.
You were all tapped out.
The strategy that's involved with that is so much better, so much more competitive when you play it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was great.
It was a great
really,
introduction.
really
Yeah.
great.
It took me a little while to figure out what trumped what, though. Money trumps all. So if you had the highest bid for a player, regardless of your position, where you were, who you drafted, or whatever, if you put the highest amount out there, it doesn't matter how early you saw the player, or you claimed him early, or whatnot, if you bet the highest amount of money on the player, you got that player. It took me 5 games to figure that out last year, and I was so confused. By then, I had already spent more than half of my money on players in the waiver wire, because I thought the best time of the season to pick up good players that might actually be there for a while is obviously early in the season. So I was like, let's put some money on these things, because I knew money would trump almost anything, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry, Brady, do you have something to add?